Its evil regime is struggling to stay afloat. Its newly anointed supreme leader is nowhere to be found. Today, the Secretary of War announced that he
is nowhere to be found because he doesn't want to be found by the United States and get blown up. I think that's common sense, bro.
I think it's just a military tactic. You're not going to put the king in the front because he's the most important piece in the war. Like, these people have never played chess before. You always hide your king. And Netanyahu spent over a day in the air. I don't know how much the specifics, but then he went to Germany, as far away from the war. This guy is on his country.
He's not even in the country. Which one is more of a coward? The guy that stays in his country but he hides, or the guy who leaves his country, like Zelensky?
You know the funny thing about it? Hegseth said the other day that he's a rat for that. So what's Netanyahu then? I mean, the hypocrisy here, am I right?
Netanyahu is a rat with wings. Rata Elada, bro.
Rata Elada.
He was wounded and disfigured. Other reports claim that he's in a coma and isn't even aware of his new role. Here now with reaction, former Deputy National Security Advisor Victoria Coates. So great to have you this evening. Thank you for joining us. What does your gut tell you is the situation with the supreme leader at the moment?
Well, Charlie, good to be with you too. I mean, what I'm seeing here is chaos in Tehran. There is really no strong decision making being made. They're kind of firing things off randomly. They're in this kind of weird dialogue.
Wait a minute. How are they random attacks when all the embassies and all the military bases from the U.S. in the Middle East are getting blown into pieces? This is a fact. How are they lying like this?
You can look it up. They say it's random because they haven't fully destroyed all the things that they want, but you have to remember these drones are meant to incapacitate, not fully destroy. If they had that capability, we will be fucking fucked right now, bro. I mean,
every little missile that arrives, every little drone that arrives to Israel is a victory for them. You know how many interceptors are in the Middle East? They have one in the coast of in the Mediterranean Sea. They have in Dubai. They have in Israel. I mean, they have even in the borders of Iran.
And they need more. They are waiting for the interceptors because the drones are crashing in. And hey, if the leader is dead or incapacitated and he doesn't know what to do, but the military machine in Iran is still working, I would say it's pretty effective, bro.
I mean, I hope he never wakes up then, because he's going to blow them to pieces.
Oh, shit.
He must be this master tactician and shit.
With China, and nothing is progressing for them. So my guess is that Mojtaba Khamenei is indeed incapacitated, at least to some extent, if not dead, as was reported earlier today. So they have no central command and control. So they have no response to something like what President Trump did today, which was supposed to be impossible. You're not supposed to ever touch Kharg Island because this is going to destroy energy coming out of the Gulf.
I mean, Trump is doing whatever now because he ran out of cards. He doesn't have the cards like he thought he had, which is pretty funny.
I mean, they have the hold of the Strait of Hormuz. How are we winning the war if economically they are crippling the West?
Hey, we're winning. The barrel of oil was $100 yesterday, and today is $106.
Okay, America.
I think no one is doing good in this economy, bro.
I mean, I couldn't afford my children's hospital today.
Oh, shit. Are they okay?
No, they're not.
Oh, let's keep it right there. I don't want to know more. Thank you, Trump.
Guess what? He said, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to reach out and touch it. I'm going to destroy the military installations. And if I want to, I'll destroy the energy installations. So I don't really see much of a response out of Tehran.
So I'm glad you mentioned the Kharg Island thing because, you know, obviously that gives.
You don't see much of a response because they have oil to shit through their ears if they want to. People think like, oh, we incapacitated one of their facilities. They don't have more. Bro, they have enough oil to burn us all to the ground.
They
They're just
are-
waiting for the right moment.
They are the third world. They are the biggest oil reserves, the third one in the world, right? So, like, they have oil for
Hey,
decades.
we are number one. This is America. We have all the oil we need, but for some reason, it's getting expensive as fuck here too. That's right.
Gives the U.S. some control, obviously, over the the loading of ships, oil tankers, at that end. But that doesn't necessarily get that tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. How does this strategy of taking control of Kharg Island wind up giving the U.S. the ability to provide safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, it's a multi-pronged strategy, Charlie, because what we also have is we have what's called the Petroline pipeline between Abqaiq and Yanbu. That's across the Saudi Arabian peninsula. You can run up to 5 million barrels a day across that. And what we're seeing is all the tankers are going into the Red Sea, which suggests that the Houthi have stood down. And we're going to start to move a whole lot of energy through that pipeline. And there's a corresponding natural gas pipeline with it as well. So it's a little bit clunkier than what you'd like to see, just loading up a tanker and running it through. But this is a way to run the energy out. That means we don't need the strait as much as the Iranians do.
Sure, lady. We don't need it at all. Let's see what happens there.
I mean, yeah, maybe for the resources that get through the Strait of Hormuz, but of course they need it. I mean, in the Middle East, 80% of the water that goes to Dubai and all these countries, 80% goes through the Strait of Hormuz.
And I also want to remind people that the U.S. hasn't been the only one hitting like oil reserves, because Iran also hit a few reserves, and you can look it up. The drone strike in the reserves, I think in Dubai and other places. So everything getting fucked up, and everybody's getting affected.
Yeah, I mean, the only real reasonable way to think about winning this war is to actually strike their water supplies and kill millions of people, which I think a lot of Americans will be happy with that, because after all, we are genocide maniacs.
Hey, we're Christians. We love to kill people.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with Christians, right? Always killing people, millions of them, genocide.
So when you mentioned the Houthis, obviously there are some ships that are getting out that are, that Iran wants to get out. And I'm assuming that the Iranian government is getting paid for those shipments. At what point do the payments to, say, the Houthis or Hamas or Hezbollah, at what point does that money dry up and we start seeing those proxies for Iran walk away?
It's drying up right now, and we've heard nothing from Hamas. We've heard only words from the Houthi. We've seen a little bit out of Hezbollah, but Israel is responding very, very strongly. So in a way, if you look at it, mining the Strait of Hormuz is suicidal for Iran, because that's where they're still running some oil out to China. That's their last revenue coming in. And the economic problems that they had that caused those massive demonstrations in December, they haven't fixed them. They've gotten worse. So for them, they're making their ultimate predicament even more dire than it was 2 weeks ago.
So what can you do about a ship that Iran has allowed to pass through unmolested, that's filled with oil, that's headed to China? What can you do about that after it's gotten through the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, if it's sanctioned, like any of the rest of the Shadow Fleet, we can interdict it. So that's
but I
a
would think
process.
that would be a pretty
That's
big
something
deal
that you
if
do. But we can, yes.
I mean, if we
would be.
interdicted a ship that was headed to China, that would be pretty high stakes.
Well, we've done some others. We've done some in the Indian Sea.
Oh, I
shit.
hope they fuck up with China, so China just gives more weapons to Iran.
Yeah, I don't think this administration has the balls to get into a war with the Chinese. You would
Amen.
get wrecked so hard, and you think you're gonna win? Bro, they outnumber us 10-1. Nobody Gen Z ain't fighting this fucking war. I'd rather
Hey,
go to prison, buddy.
I'm staying at home or I'm going to prison, but I'm going not to fight this shit ass Trump war.
Man, Trump can go to the front line himself with Barron. I'm going to prison, bro.
He doesn't have the balls. in
Honestly,
his
prison
body.
is like the safest place right now in the war, because when shit gets done,
If Trump goes to the war in Iran, personally, I don't think I change my mind, but you know that ain't gonna happen. He's really comfortable at the White House, just like every other leader right now who is against Iran.
alright.
So it's